This is Judge Wish, courtroom 1, session 1. Can I have the parties announce themselves for the record, please?
Good morning, Lakeisha Halen, Office of the Public Defender.
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
Sure. Miss Lorraine. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name?
Reginald Scott.
All right, Mr. Scott, you're here in 2020 CF 145AO. Turn my computer volume on. All right, and in that case, you're charged with battery on a corrections officer, and I do find probable cause for that offense. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. You can't have any contact with any listed victim, and no weapons or firearms or any ammunition, and your bond will stay at $2,500. Does not want to stand. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name, please?
Brian Andrews.
All right, Mr. Andrews, you're here in 2020 MM 112AO. You're charged with petty theft. Do you find probable cause? I don't have a form for the public defender. I don't know if the state will have an offer for you today, but I can inquire.
There does seem to be some prior history, and as it's enhanceable, we'll postpone at this
Okay.
time.
All right, Mr. Andrews, the state's not going to offer you anything today because it's an enhanceable offense, and based on your prior history, they may want to or desire to charge it as a felony. Do you want me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You can't go back to the Family Dollar store at 5401 West Colonial Drive or have any contact with any listed victim or witness at that location. And I'm gonna stay the bond at the $250. Don't miss court.
I can go back downstairs.
All right, please tell me your name.
Hank Elmore,
All right, Mr. Elmore, you're here in 2020 CF 179. You were arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids, possession of MDMA, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender. You can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna ROR you on count 1. Count 2, I'll set at 1,000, and count 3, I'll ROR you.
What again? Thank you, miss. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good day. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Jeffrey Wayne Finley, man.
All right, Mr. Finley, you're here in 2020 CF 165AO. You're arrested for carrying a concealed weapon by a convicted felon. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the PD in that case in 2020 MO 29. It's possession and consumption of alcohol in a prohibited place. And I do find probable cause for that offense as well. And I'll appoint the public defender. All right, Mr. Finley, I'm gonna set your bond on count 1 at $500. or excuse me, on the felony, and then on the MO, I'm just gonna ROR him, okay? You need to make sure that you keep in touch with the public defender, you don't miss any court dates, you can't possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, tell me your name, please.
Astro Levy.
All right, Mr. Levy, you're here in 2020 CF 159AO. You're arrested for burglary of a structure and criminal mischief over 1,000. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. You may not return back to the Lake Eola Park, okay? You can't go back there. You can't have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And I am gonna stay the bond at the 7,000. I'll reduce, well, and I'll stay, it's a non-resident, so I'll stay the bond on count 2 as well. Okay, thank you. All right, come forward, ma'am, please. Can you tell me your name?
Gina Lorraine.
All right, Miss Lorraine, you're here in 19 CF 8679AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a case management conference on November 18, 2019.
I was there, ma'am.
Okay, well, that's something you'll have to discuss with the judge. And so your bond is set at none at this time. Does she have the public defender? Okay, you do have the public defender, so you'll have to talk to them about that and whether they can file a motion in good faith, that you were there.
Yeah.
All right, please tell me your name.
Landy Novoa.
All right, sir, you're here in 2020 CF 154AO. You're arrested for attempted robbery with a firearm and aggravated assault with a firearm. And I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You may not return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, the Royal Palms Apartments, or have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or your co-defendant in the case. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and no weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition. And your bond on count 1 is $40,000. Count 2 is set at $3,500. All right, please tell me your name.
Jacob Rayleigh.
All right, Mr. Rayleigh, you're here in 2020 MM 4AE, you're arrested for trespass in a structure or conveyance. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Does the state have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 2 days credit time served, court costs.
All right, Mr. Rayleigh, you don't have any criminal history, okay? So I don't want you to mess that up today. And you may qualify for pretrial diversion with the state attorney's office. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ROR you, okay? I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. If you don't show up to court, you're gonna get a court date when you get out. If you don't show up to court, you're gonna get a warrant, and you'll probably sit in jail with no bond until that case is resolved if the state files on it, okay? Do you
Yes, ma'am, I
understand?
understand.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can't go back to any UCF property. You've been trespassed from there. If you go back, you're probably getting arrested, and if you do that, then your bond can get revoked in this case, or your release, I should say, okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am, I
no
understand.
contact with any listed victims or witnesses, and abide by the trespass warning, and do not miss court. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Eric Rich.
All right, Mr. Rich, you're here in 2020 MM 125AO for possession of drug paraphernalia, and I do find probable cause for that offense. I'll appoint the public defender in 2020 MO 31. You're arrested for disorderly conduct. I find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. I understand there's out on release cases where there's possible competency going on, so I'm sure the PD would not want to enter a plea today, so I'm gonna stay the bond at the 500 on the drug paraphernalia and the 250 on the disorderly. If you can't make the bond, your attorneys will be able to file any motions or any other motions that they deem appropriate in those cases. And no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm not taking any action on the out on release cases. It's just my arms are short. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name, please?
Eric Heaton.
All right, Mr. Heaton, you're here in an out-of-county warrant out of Gilchrist County. And it looks like the judge in your case out in Gilchrist County set your bond at $2,500 on count 1 and $1,500 on count 2. So if you're able to bond out, you can bond out. If not, Gilchrist County will have 72 hours pursuant to our administrative order, not including weekends or holidays. I don't think that will affect you, to come and get you, okay? All right, can you tell me your name, please?
Thomas James Burke.
All right, Mr. Burke. You're here in 2020 CF 131AO. You're arrested for possession of Xanax, possession of cocaine, possession of heroin, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. And you can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'll stay the bond on count 1 at 1,000. I'll reduce count 2 to 150. I'll reduce count 3 to 150 and count 4 to 100. All right, please tell me your name.
My name's Scott Edwards.
All right, Mr. Edwards. You're here in 2020 CF 135AO. You're arrested for driving while license suspended as a subsequent offender and possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. And I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You can't drive without a valid driver's license. And the bond will stay at $2,500 on count 1. I'll reduce count 2 to 150. All right, please tell me your name.
Jose Ortiz.
All right, Mr. Ortiz, you're here in an Osceola County warrant. And I believe the judge set your bond at none. And can I appoint the PD for him here? Okay, I'm gonna appoint the PD for you here. It's the same circuit, okay? So Osceola and Orange are the same circuit. And,
Oh, but I don't have any actual charges here, do I?
no, it's Osceola County. So they'll, they have 24 hours to come and pick you up. I'm probably gonna come and pick you up, okay? If they don't do that within the time frame, then you'll come back before me, okay?
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure they're gonna come and get you, but I appointed the PD for you,
Will
okay?
they most likely give me a bond when I
When you get to
clear?
Osceola, that is up to the judge in Osceola, and I don't know anything about your case, okay?
Okay.
right, can you tell me your name?
Dustin Wiggins.
All right, Mr. Wiggins. You're here in 2020 CT 28AW. You're arrested for driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. I find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender. And then you're also here in 2020 MM 15AW for providing false identification to law enforcement. And I find probable cause, and I'll appoint the PD in that case for you. You're on probation, so I'm not gonna try to resolve your case today, okay? So I'm gonna stay the bond at 500 on the driving while license suspended. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. And the bond on the providing false ID will stay at 500. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name? Come forward, please.
Good morning, Terrence Clayton.
All right, Mr. Clayton, you're here in, looks like 2019 CF 5421AO. You're arrested pursuant to a KPS for failing to appear for pretrial conference on December 11th, 2019. The judge did revoke your release. Does he have the PD? You have the public defender. They're gonna have to file a motion in Division 14 with the judge in that case, okay? All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name?
Shannon Mickler.
All right, Ms. Mickler, you're here in 2020 CF 164AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. Do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I'm gonna stay the bond at the 1,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2, and I'll ROR on count 3.
Thank you so much.
All right, tell me your name, please. Tell me your name.
Monroe.
Okay. All right, Mr. Monroe, you're here in 2020 CF 143AO. You're arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You can't possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition or have any contact with the victim. And the bond will stay at 2,500 and 100. All right, we'll reset Ms. Singh. All right, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Melissa Selby.
Sorry?
Melissa Selby.
Okay, Ms. Selby, you're here in 2020 CF 151AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of oxycodone, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Was she interviewed for PTR?
She was, Your Honor.
Okay.
We weren't able to verify any address or community ties or anything.
All right. So, Ms. Selby, you don't have any prior history, and do you live here? You live here locally?
Yes,
You live in Orlando. How long have you been here?
my whole life.
Your whole life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were born in Orlando?
Winter Park.
Winter Park?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna release you ROR, okay? You gotta make sure that you do not miss court.
Right.
If you miss court, you're gonna get a warrant. Likely it'll be a no bond warrant,
Yes.
okay? So do not, I'm telling you, do not miss court. And then make sure that the PD's office knows how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay? All right. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
James Edward Young, Jr.
All right. Do we know what happened to Billy Smith? He's in the hospital. Okay, we'll reset Mr. Smith within 24 hours of his release from the hospital. And then Mr. Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you're here in 2020 MO 30. You are arrested for disorderly conduct. I find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 2 days credit time served, court cost.
Okay, Mr. Young, do you want to do that today?
What? Which?
It's an adjudication of guilt and credit for time served.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm not going to take any action on the out on release case. Don't miss court if you have a court date, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if you do or not, but.
They don't release. Thank you. I got it. Yeah, I better not run off. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Young, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I do find a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
do have to impose court costs. I'll order you pay those by January 6, 2021, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name, please?
Randy Brock.
All right, Ms. Brock, you're here in 2020 MM 118AO. You're arrested for trespass in a structure or conveyance. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the PD. I don't know if the state will have an offer because it is a victim case, so.
We'll withhold an offer at this time, Your Honor. There was also some damage to the vehicle and
Okay, all right. So, Ms. Brock, you can't have any contact with any victim, any witness, or any co-defendant, and no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
I was gonna say.
I'm gonna ROR you. Listen, I'm gonna ROR
I
you.
don't-
Do not miss court.
I don't want.
Don't talk about the facts of the case, okay?
Can I talk?
I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case. If you have a question, ask Ms. Haling.
No.
Ask Ms. Haling if you have a question. She'll talk to me.
Your Honor, could you set a bond in her case?
She doesn't want to be ROR?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna stay the bond at the 250.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name.
Colton Coverly. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, Mr. Coverly, you're here in 2020 MM 116AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. I don't know if the state will have an offer, but we'll see.
yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 4 days with credit time served and court cost.
All right, so the state's offer is 4 days with credit for 2 days' time served with an adjudication. You're not on probation, are you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and then I do see you have is it another warrant?
It's a, yeah.
DR, so child support? Okay, all right. Do you want to do that? Do you want to take the offer?
Will I be getting out of here and going back to where I live and then
Okay,
paying child
so
support,
you-
or?
Well, I don't know anything about your child support case, okay? That's a civil issue, okay?
Okay.
So all I can tell you is that you'll probably get out tomorrow for this case.
Oh.
Does he have a purge amount, or?
Not that I see
No, okay.
in the hold.
No, I'm not on probation.
All right,
Your Honor, Mr. Coverly's gonna accept the offer.
Okay.
And plead no contest.
okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Coverly, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Um,
Did you read it?
yeah.
They gave you a plea form before you came in the courtroom. Did you read that plea form? Why don't you step back and we'll recall your case. I want you to read the plea form, okay? All right, tell me your name, ma'am.
Hey, my name is Sarah Darby. How are you today, Your Honor?
All right, good morning. All right, Miss Darby, you're here in 2020 MM 20AW. You're arrested for trespass in a structure. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Miss Darby?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, 3 days with credit time served, court costs, no return to the scene of the Walmart.
Okay, so Miss Darby, I think you'll get out today if you want to accept that offer. And
I
then
do. Thank you so much.
You got to abide by the trespass warning, okay?
Your Honor, she'll enter a no contest plea.
Okay. Huh? 3, yeah. All right, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form, Ms. Darby?
Yes,
All right,
Your Honor.
did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Absolutely.
Did you understand all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
I do.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No,
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
I'm not. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay, do you understand that if you're not, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, I understand.
All right. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days. You can't go back to the Walmart at 10500 West Colonial Drive. Abide by the trespass warning. If you go back, you're probably gonna get arrested again. And I have to impose court costs. I'll order you pay those by January 6, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right,
Thank
good
you.
luck. All right, Mr. Coverly, I think you read that plea form? Did you read the plea form, or are you still reading it?
I did read it. I don't,
Do you need somebody to help you with it?
I
It's
I don't
okay, it's fine.
don't know.
Okay, we'll have you. I need to make sure that you understand what you're doing when you
I do
enter
not
the plea.
understand exactly what
Okay.
this is saying. It
Okay.
says the nature of the charges, and then
We'll-
it says I've
we'll-
given up all these rights.
There's a lot of rights you're giving up when you enter a plea.
Yeah.
That's why I have you, read the plea form. So if you need some time to think about it, or you need somebody to help you go over the plea form if you have questions, I'm happy to allow that.
I just went over this.
Your Honor,
Okay.
could you give,
Yes.
I'll give him.
Yeah, why don't we have him go in the back, and then Ms. Halen can go talk to him, and we'll do that after, okay? We only have a couple more people. All right, come on forward, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Bernard Portier the fourth.
All right, Mr. Portier, you're here in 2020 MM 120AO. You're arrested for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. What I'm gonna do is, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna ROR you. I'm not taking any action on your out on release case. The state is really not prosecuting these cases, but I can't tell you that if you come back again and you have 2 out on release cases and they're cannabis, I don't think it's really gonna matter to a judge.
Yes, ma'am.
So, just letting you know, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And keep in touch with the public defender's office, and don't miss court. You're gonna get a court date, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, tell me your name, please.
Brian Schwartz.
All right, Mr. Schwartz, you're here in 2020 MM132. You're arrested for petty theft. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. I don't know if the state will have an offer, but we can see.
There appears to be prior history, Your Honor, and as it's enhanceable, we'll withhold the offer at this time.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is order, Mr. Schwartz, you cannot go back to the Publix at 400 East Central Boulevard. You can't have any contact with any victim or witness, and abide by the trespass warning that you were provided. And I am gonna stay the bond at the $500,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay? All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name?
Timothy Street.
All right, Mr. Street, you're here in 2020 MM110AO. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, providing false ID to law enforcement, and a sanitary nuisance. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. Is there an offer?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I got extradition. I'm going back to prison, so all this is wrong.
Well, I don't know, is he's on parole?
Yeah, I'm in parole
Okay,
out of
but
Illinois.
not probation. but-
I'm in parole out of Illinois, ma'am.
Okay. It looks like there's an outstanding warrant out of Wisconsin.
That's misdemeanor.
Okay. It's a failure to appear, so,
Yeah.
all right, so Mr. Street, the state's not gonna, is there a reason why there's not an offer? Were you violated, was he violated already? Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
At this time, Your Honor.
I mean, is there a reason why you're not giving an offer?
Just declined to offer today.
Okay, do you want to plead to the bench?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I pleaded the bench,
Okay.
let me,
All right, so you've already been violated. Like I said, if you're already being violated and you're on parole, I don't know what the consequences would be, okay, to that, if you accept a plea today.
I'm going to do 9 months, so I'm gonna be done.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
so, I'm just letting you know that if you plead to this, that might get worse. I don't know. I don't know anything about your situation. So I just need to know that you understand
Fully understand, Your
what
Honor.
you're doing and that there may be additional consequences other than what you're already expecting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Street, and you want to enter a plea of no contest to the charges in the case?
Oh, yep, I'm gonna
Okay.
plead guilty to try to get it over with today.
Okay, well, we're gonna get it over with today so that we can get you on your way to wherever you need to go.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so you're not sitting here.
No contest, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, obviously, we've discussed the fact that you're on parole and you've already previously been violated prior to this case. And based on your understanding is that you don't think that this case will change that?
Absolutely
Okay, if
not.
it does, you understand I don't have any control over that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
understand everything that's
Yes, ma'am.
contained within the plea form?
Yeah, this right here, yeah.
Did you understand all those rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
And my other question would be, you're on parole, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea to all 3 counts. I'll adjudicate you guilty on all 3 counts. Sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. That will still get you out today, okay? Or, well, your sentence will be over today. Are they have a hold on him? Okay, so then they'll take you wherever you need to go from there.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have to impose court costs. I'll order you pay those by January 6th, 2021.
Okay,
And all of these will run
I need
concurrent,
that-
okay?
I need that court cost pull back a little bit.
Well, you'll
more.
have to, you can always write to the clerk,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? That'll be in the court
Yes, ma'am.
minutes. You can ask for an extension, okay? But they'll work with you
Yes,
with
ma'am.
regards to if you're incarcerated,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right,
Thank you,
good
ma'am.
luck.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, I think that's Mr. It says- All right, please tell me your name.
Christian Suarez.
All right, Mr. Suarez, you're here in a Seminole County, out of county, is this an it's an on-view. It's an on-view VOP for a Seminole County violation of probation, and it's based on the facts alleged in the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the violation of probation, and so the bond will be set at none at this time. Seminole County, is he here for other things too? Okay, so they won't pick him up until that's resolved. Okay. So because you have a local case, you'll have to either bond out or resolve that case first before Seminole County will come and pick you up, okay?
So I thought that I had a hold on my bond because
have-
of the VOP.
Well, yeah, you have no bond on the VOP.
Uh,
I don't know what your bond is on the possession of drug paraphernalia.
$500,
So
Your Honor.
so if you can bond out, then Seminole County will come and pick you up for the violation of probation.
Okay, so I have
Okay.
to bond out and then,
Then Seminole County will come and pick you up,
all right.
okay? All right, can you tell me your name?
Peyton Baker.
All right, sir, you're here in 2020 CF 140AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you may not return back to the, I believe, the Wendy's at 11734 East Colonial Drive, okay? And, I'm gonna stay the bond at 1,000 on count 1, 100 on counts 2 and 3. All right, please tell me your name.
Gage Strobridge.
All right, Mr. Strobridge, you're here in 2020 CF 115AO. You're arrested for burglary of a structure and criminal mischief. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You may not return back to the Centurion Institute at 6359 Edgewater Drive, or have any contact with any listed victim or witness. Your bond is $3,500 on count 1. I'll reduce count 2 to 100. All right.
Your Honor, before we do Mr. Bain's motion, may I have a moment to speak with him? I didn't get to speak
Sure.
with him.
I didn't get a chance to review the motion, so let me take a look at it now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Can you tell me your name, please?
David Bain.
All right, Mr. Bain, you're here in 2020 MM 3AO, and the Public Defender's Office, your attorneys filed a motion for release on your own recognizance or on the alternative to reduce your bond. And so, Ms. Haling, it's your motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. This morning, we're asking that Mr. Bain be released on his own recognizances. Mr. Bain, first off, I will take some testimony from him.
Raise your right hand, Mr. Bain. You raise your right hand for me?
I'm sorry.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Bain, are you currently employed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Prior to being arrested, were you employed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have a savings or a checking account?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any money?
A little bit.
Okay. When you say a little bit,
Probably around 250.
okay. Is there anyone that you could contact to help you access the money in your account?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any friends or family here in Orange County?
No, ma'am.
How long have you lived here in Orange County?
Since 2005.
Okay. So since your arrest, have you been able to reach anyone to help you post the bond?
No, ma'am.
All right. If you are released today, where would you reside?
Salvation Army.
Okay. And is that the 624 Lexington Avenue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that if you are released, that you cannot return to any Disney property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how do you plan to get back to court?
Bus transportation.
Okay, so it's very important that you attend all your future court dates. With that being said, do you agree to keep in contact with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you also agree to attend any future court dates in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. Your Honor, no further testimony. I do want to mention he has had a prior failure to appear. The last one was in November of 2005.
Ms. Fusco, do you have any questions for Mr. Bain?
Just to clarify, did he say he attempted to obtain bond in this case?
He hasn't been able to reach any family or friends to help him secure a bond.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for him?
No further for him.
Okay, all right. And so you made your argument?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
And do you have any argument, Ms. Fusco?
Yes, Your Honor. There is the failure to appear, but also our records show that he is currently out on release in another case that's a grand theft case, and this case isn't exactly a straightforward trespass, as he was in a section of the unauthorized area of Epcot, if I understand the facts correctly, that he had to gain access to the park without paying and then get in the unauthorized area. And when I pulled the prior case, I have that record if the public defender...
I've read it, yeah.
So that in that public case, in the prior case, the police has, put together a very lengthy history of prior accesses to resorts and to, theme parks at Universal, at Disney properties, at Typhoon Lagoons, Blizzard Beach, at SeaWorld, and so forth. The list goes on, and there are in the teens of them. And yet there's also a very, long record of pawn shop, activity by the defendant. And so we would ask the court to deny this motion and also address the issue that he is out on release in the prior case when this happened.
All right, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bain, I'm going to deny your motion. You did not have your release revoked when you got arrested on this case, and it's also a hotel and amongst all those properties that you've been trespassed from. And based on, I've read both of the cases, and so I'm not going to grant the motion. I don't think the bond is inappropriate considering you're also out on release and with your history as well as the facts of the cases, they're sort of similar. So I am going to deny that motion. If anything changes, you can file another motion, but I'm not going to grant that today.
Your Honor, just a moment to.
Sure. Mr. Street Culverly, we are recalling your case 2020 MM 116AO, and you were reviewing the plea form with Ms. Haling. Do you understand everything in the plea form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and knowing everything and understanding everything in the plea form, do you still want to go forward with the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Did you understand every right that you're giving up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all
I
right.
think.
Okay. Ms. Haling, did he ask you some questions?
No, Your Honor, I went over the plea form. He said he had no questions.
Okay, all right. All right, and do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, but I am a U.S. citizen.
Okay, but that wasn't my question. If you were not a U.S. citizen, do you understand that the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'll order you pay those by January 6th, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. All right, good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. All right, we all ready on the 33 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, 2019 CF 16271AO, Brian Matthew Keith.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, there was a notice of non-filing.
All right, that will be granted. 2019 CF 15812AO, James Ira Harrison Jr.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, there was a notice of non-filing.
All right, that will be granted. 2019 CF 15445AO, Angel Manuel Padro.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 2nd, there was a notice of non-filing.
Okay, this is filed on the 25th day. Today is now the 28th day. This is pretty untimely. So I'm going to deny it, and it can be filed again when it's time to file it. All right, 2019 CF 16660AO, Zaire Aaron Lamont Robinson.
Yes, Your Honor, on December 31st, there was a notice of non-filing.
Granted. Two 2019 CF 16554AO, Michael Stewart.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, there was an information filed, filing ID 101117142.
That will be denied. 2019 MM 9263AO, Shanette Howe.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, there was an information filed, filing ID 101115769.
Okay, that will be denied. 2019 CF 15121AO, Christopher John Smith.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, an information was filed, filing ID 101111202.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 16598AO, Rebecca Lynn Vacuni.
Yes, Your Honor, this morning on January 6th, there was a request for administrative transfer and information filed. I've provided clock copies by email to the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, was it filed as a misdemeanor or CT case, like CT? Okay. Okay, that will be denied. 2019 CF 16383AO, Michael Gerald Akin Jr.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, an information was filed, filing ID 101114376.
2019 9706AO William Baker.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, there was a notice of non-filing.
That will be granted. CF 14222AO to Marcus Clayton Reynolds.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 3rd, there's a notice of non-filing.
That will be granted. All right, anything else?
No, yeah.
Okay, so we'll be in recess until 1 o'clock. It is January 6, 2020, and this is courtroom 1, session 2. Can I have the parties announce themselves for the record, please?
Lakeisha Halen, Office of the Public Defender.
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
All right, and then we don't have the interpreter on the line yet, so we're going to start with the regular docket. All right, can you tell me your name?
Jonathan Chambers Thompson.
All right, Mr. Chambers Thompson, you are here in case number 2020 CF 172AO. You're charged with driving while license revoked as a habitual traffic offender, and I do find probable cause for that offense. You make $500 a week. Is that your paycheck after taxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's what you get in a check.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any children under the age of 18?
One.
And, okay, and you claim that child as a dependent?
Oh, not yet.
Do you pay child support?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you're not gonna qualify for the public defender, so you're gonna have to contact an attorney, okay? I am gonna order that you're not to drive without a valid driver's license, and your bond will stay set at $2,500.
Your Honor, is there any way that his address can be updated?
He wants to write it down?
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll give it to the clerk. It looks like the ticket has an address that's different than the address on the affidavit. Yeah. Is the ticket one right? It's the East Bay Street. Is that the correct?
That's my biological mother's address.
Okay, why don't you write down your address for us, okay? Where you'll get your mail. Here's a piece of paper for the clerk. Oh, they look like they came on. Is the interpreter on the line?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Theodore Leal, present. The interpreter has already been sworn.
Okay, thank you. We started with the regular docket, so as soon as I'm done with this individual, then we'll move back to the Spanish.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right? Okay? All set? All right, thank you. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Demetrio Garcia.
Demetrio Garcia.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Garcia, you're here in case number 2020 MM127AO. You're arrested for resisting a merchant and petty theft. And I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I would ask the state if they have an offer. I don't know if they would have an offer, but I also noticed that he's not a U.S. citizen, so I don't know if it would be a good idea to enter a plea regardless today, because of the consequences of the petty theft
Yes.
offense, okay? So what I'll do is, Mr. Garcia, you may not return back to the 7-Eleven at 605 West Colonial Drive You may not have any contact with any listed victim or witness at that location, and the bond will stay set at 500 and 100. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Fernando Servín Olvera. Servín Olvera.
Hervando Servín Loguera.
Fernando Servín Olvera.
Fernando Servín Olvera.
All right. Mr. Olvera, you're here in 2020 CT 31AW, and you're arrested for driving under the influence, causing property damage or personal injury to another. And I do find probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender's office. Did you want to see if you qualify for them, or were you intending to hire your own attorney?
No, lo que pasa es que yo no tengo nadie aquí yo vengo de Jacksonville, no tengo a nadie a quien hablarles o me declaro culpable.
I want to advise him, Mr. Interpreter, not, can you advise him not to talk about the facts of the case? I just want to make sure he didn't tell me anything about the facts, okay?
No, the thing is that I don't have anybody I can talk to. I come from Jacksonville.
Okay, all right. So, do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
No, está bien.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so are you planning on representing yourself?
Sí.
Yes?
Okay, and why, I don't think that's a good idea. Are you a licensed attorney?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna.
No.
Okay, do you work, sir?
Trabajaba.
I used to work.
Okay, do you work, you don't have a job right now?
Yeah, well, I was working.
You gotta speak in Spanish.
Estaba trabajando.
Okay, are you currently employed?
I
now?
was working.
Okay,
No, en este momento estoy aquí, pero yo estaba trabajando en una compañía que se llama Cerreta Construction Officer. Cerreta Construction. sí.
No, I used to work for a company called Saruto Construction that I used to work for.
okay. Do you work there now? Do you have a job now, currently?
Sí, claro que sí tengo empleo.
Okay,
Oh, yes, of course, I have a job.
okay. And then, do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Semanal.
Weekly.
Okay, and what is your paycheck every week? The check that you get from your employer, what is that paycheck amount?
Aproximadamente 8.80 por semana.
Approximately $880 per week.
Okay, do you have any children?
No.
Hmm?
Mis hijos son grandes ya.
My children are already adults.
Okay, all right. You're not going to qualify for the public defender, so you are going to have to talk to an attorney, correct? You will not qualify? Okay. So you are going to have to, I would talk to an attorney. I would not represent yourself on a driving under the influence charge, okay? And so you're not to drive without, or not, excuse me, not to consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and the bond will stay set at $2,000. And you said you live, do you live in Texas? Or do you live in
Yo estaba
Jacksonville?
trabajando para la compañía de Texas.
I was working for a company from Texas.
Okay, but you don't live there?
Ahorita no, porque la compañía me mandó para acá. La compañía tiene tres oficinas. Tiene una aquí en Apopka y tiene otra en North Carolina y otra en Texas.
The company sent me over here. The company has 3 offices, one in Apopka, one in North Carolina, and another one in Texas.
Okay. Where will you get your mail in the next couple of months? Are you planning on going back to Texas in the next couple of months? I want to make sure that you get notice. I have a Texas address for
Prairie
you.
Lea, tengo la dirección de Prairie Lea, sí. Se llama Prairie Lea 179 Mustang Street.
I have 79 Mustang Street.
En Prairie, Texas.
Yeah.
Prairie, Texas.
Will you get your mail there?
Prairie, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I just want to make sure somebody's going
Yes.
to get your mail for you, okay? Okay.
Sí.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, good afternoon. Can you tell me your name, please?
Carlos Raúl López Sales.
Carlos Raúl López Sales.
All right, Mr. Lopez Salas, you're here in case number 2015, MM12694AO. And the PD was previously appointed to represent you in your case. Looks like
Yeah.
this was a failure to appear and then he got picked up. Was there,
Yeah, so, Your Honor, Mr. Lopez was before the court last Thursday. He had the ICE detainer.
okay, I remember him.
Yes. So I just wanted to bring him back to your attention only because after looking through the notes, he spoke with his public defenders, both of them on both of these cases. The issue is he was deported 8 years ago, so he's here for, it's a legal re-entry, and the removal proceedings are already in place.
Okay.
Unless he resolves his case or posts bond, ICE won't make a determination as to what to do going forward.
So does he wants to resolve the case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I guess from last Thursday, it was a different case, a traffic case, and I wanted to see if you would pull that one back up, or if we would just have to resolve this one and bring the no valid driver's license back before the court.
Let's do that.
Okay.
And so you can just set that, just email one of the JAs. I think it would be Judge Carter doing the arraignments.
Yes.
So just do that.
Okay.
Because of the paperwork issue. So, but I just want to make sure your office speaks to him about both of those cases, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
And the offer in this case was an adjudication guilt, 17 days Orange County Jail and court costs.
Okay, it's credit for 17.
Yes. And Mr. Lopez is fully aware of what's happening today, and he would like to accept that offer.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lopez, you heard everything that Ms. Haling said. Is everything that she said an accurate representation of your discussions with the attorneys on your case?
Thank you.
Sí.
Yes.
And knowing all of any immigration consequences, you want to accept the plea?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand all of the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
¿Cómo?
Are you on probation?
Excuse me?
Are you on do you report to a probation officer anywhere?
No.
No.
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file to the consumption of alcohol after hours. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 17 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 17 days time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'll order you pay those by January 6th, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. And you're pleading no contest, Ms. Haling?
Yes,
So-
Your Honor.
okay.
Thank you.
All right? And you can just set the,
Yeah.
you can just set the other case for
Arraignment.
a plea if you want to. Okay?
Thank you.
All right?
Okay.
Good afternoon. Can you tell me your name, please?
Rosel Jimenez Martinez.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, you are here in case number 2020 CT 34AW and 2020 CT 35AW. You're charged with driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge and driving under the influence. And I do find probable cause for those offenses. I don't have a form for the public defender. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender, or are you intending to hire your own attorney?
I know that there's someone supposed to come in and post bail for me.
Okay, well, that's different than getting an attorney. So, do you want me to see if you qualify for the services of the public defender? You can always hire your own attorney if you want, but I think it's a good idea to have an attorney.
Yeah, but I cannot afford a private attorney.
You can afford one? Is that what, you just want to hire your own attorney?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The temperament cannot
Oh, okay.
afford.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, do you work, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, and then do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Which,
And then what is your paycheck, the amount of your paycheck every week?
Depende de 800 a 1000 porque trabajo en el roofing, no tengo un salario fijo.
it depends. It can go anywhere from 800 to 1,000 since I work doing roofing and I don't have a steady paycheck.
Okay, and when was the last time you got paid?
Ya estoy descansando desde el 20. Por la
I
fecha de
have-
Navidad no trabajamos.
Well, we didn't work through Christmas, so last time was on the December the 20th.
Okay, and then, do you have any children?
No.
No,
No, okay. Do you work, when you say you don't work all the time, do you work would you work next week? And this week?
Sí tengo trabajo.
yes, I have work.
Okay, you do have work, okay. You're not gonna qualify for the public defender, okay? So you are gonna have to contact an attorney. So, I would contact an attorney as soon as possible, okay? I am gonna order that you're not to drive without a valid driver's license, okay? You're not to also possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna stay the bond, on each count at $500.
Okay.
Pero pueden venir a pagarlo hoy todos los
$1,000
o pueden dar un
Could they come in today and pay the
They can,
$1,000?
but you have a hold for a warrant out of Seminole County for failing to appear, and that has a bond. So if you'll have to bond out on both of those cases, the ones here and then the one in Seminole, okay? And then you'll be able to get out, okay? Thank you.
Okay.
All right, good afternoon. Can you tell me your name, please?
Jimmy de Jesus.
Jimmy de Jesus.
All right, Mr. De Jesus, you're here in case number 2020 CF 187. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was previously found for battery on a person 65 years of age or older and domestic violence battery. And I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. I am going to order that you have no contact, directly or indirectly, with the victim or any witnesses in the case. And I'll have you sign the no contact order form, please. Did you understand everything contained in that form, Mr. De Jesus?
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Halen, can you ask him if he lives with the victim? It's very unclear as, based on the affidavit, if his address on the warrant is not the same address as the victim's address, so I don't think they live together. Okay.
I live in my home.
Yeah, and he's asked me that he doesn't live
Okay,
with the
all right. So I'm going to order that you're not to return back to the victim's residence. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And your bond on count 1 is $2,500, count 2 is $500.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Victor Luis Gonzalez.
Yes, my name is Victor Gonzalez.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, if you're going to use the interpreter, you need to speak in Spanish, and the interpreter will interpret to me in English.
En español.
In Spanish, yes.
Okay. All right, and sir, you're here in case number 2020 CF 167AO. You were arrested for battery by strangulation. It's a domestic violence case. And you do not qualify for the public defender based on your income. Okay, so I cannot appoint them to represent you today. You'll have to contact an attorney. And we do have some witnesses here. If you're going to testify, can you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, do you need the interpreter?
No, I don't.
Okay. And then, can you tell me your name?
Vanessa Campos Monegaro.
Can you spell your last name for me, please? You
M-O-N-E.
can put your hand down. Thank you.
M-O-N-E-G-A-T-O.
Okay. And then, who is behind you?
That's my daughter, 16 years old.
Okay.
She's been a witness for the last time he been tried to strangulate me
Okay.
and another
Can I have
things
her
also.
come forward and tell me her name and how to spell her last name?
Natalie Monegaro, Natalee Monegato.
Okay. And let me hear from your mom again. What is your relationship with Mr. Gonzalez?
Victor is my husband for almost 5 years. The baby is our daughter. So I've been really abused for the violence. This is not first time. I'm really scared. If he's get out right now, he can go hurt us in your house with our daughters. He been like, because he has been like hurt me too much times, but I'm just scared because he always been threatening me.
Okay, so you're scared, and do you want to have contact with him?
Yes, but I don't believe he's going to obey that because he didn't obey the last time.
So you do not want contact? Is what you're saying?
No.
Okay. And you're saying that this has happened before?
Yes, so many times.
Okay. Have you called law enforcement before?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the first arrest?
No, that's the second time.
Do you think that any drugs or alcohol have any involvement in what happened?
I'm sorry?
Do you think drugs or alcohol had any involvement?
Yes, he abused for alcohol too much.
Okay. And if, does anyone else have any questions?
He tried to threaten me to kill me. His brother, where like if he got out here now, he has 3 guns and everything. So I'm really scared for all that he threats me.
Okay. Ms. Fusco, you may want to tell, I don't know, I think Harbor House is on the other side if she wanted to speak with anybody over there. There's another courtroom, and that's usually the domestic violence courtroom. So there are people over there that you can talk to if you need to talk to somebody, okay?
Okay.
Is there anything else that you wanted me to know?
Yes, like it's not just for strangulation. He be kicking me, pull my hair. Like right now, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to the hospital. I tried to go to the court this morning to get an injunction, but I've been taking medication. I have like some nausea. Because he just hit my head so many times on the wood. He always hit my head. That's why I can be like, sometimes when I talk with the officers, I can remember everything, but I have it all record. I have 4 cameras in my house outside. My daughter, she record everything on my phone.
Okay, well, this is all information you can give the prosecutor's office. I'm sure they'll be contacting you, okay?
Okay.
I don't make charging decisions, that's the state attorney's office, okay? But there are things that you can do to protect yourself. Sounds like you're starting to do those things, okay? Does your daughter want to tell me anything? Are you afraid?
Yeah. He's been always like threatening my mom, and like every day, like whenever he drinks, he just like turns into like somebody else, and he's always like threatening my mom, and he's always threatening her that he's gonna kill her or something, and then always gonna hurt everybody, and he's always like threatening, and every time I try to defend my mom, he tries pushing me back, and yeah.
All right. Are there any firearms in the home, or does he have firearms?
No, but he already had.
I'm sorry?
He already had a big gun.
Does he have a gun?
No, right now. But he told me he already had before.
He's had one, but he does not have one
Yeah,
now.
but like in the house where he gonna be, his brother has 3 guns in his house.
Okay. All right. Ms. Fusco, did you have any additional questions?
Not at this time, Your
Okay, and then I did not appoint Ms. Haling based on his income, so you're going to have to hire your own attorney, sir. All right, thank you so much for coming and talking to me. I know it's difficult, okay?
Yes.
So appreciate that. Mr. Gonzalez, I am ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses who are named in the affidavit. I'll have you sign the no contact order form. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, did you understand everything that's contained in the no contact order form?
Yes.
And you spoke in English and you said yes, so I'm assuming that you understood.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, I'm also ordering that you maintain a separate residence from the victim or any witness. And so if you need to go back to the residence to get any personal belongings that you need, you must go with law enforcement. You may not go by yourself. Do you understand?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. If you own any firearms or you have any ammunition, or they are stored at any other location or at your home, you're going to need to surrender them to law enforcement within 12 hours of your release from the Orange County Jail. Do you understand?
Sí.
Yes.
I am setting your bond at $5,000 plus random urinalysis through pretrial release, so you may not possess or consume any illegal substances or alcohol If you positively or if you test positive for any illegal substances or any alcohol, your release can be revoked. Do you understand?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your testimony. All right, good afternoon. Can you tell me your name, please?
Joshua Rivera.
All right, sir, you're here in case number 2020 CF 158AO. You're arrested for battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. And you do not qualify for the public defender, sir, based on your income, so you're going to have to hire your own attorney, okay? I do find probable cause.
Your Honor, I'm
Yes.
sorry. As a friend of the court, just on, it's count 1, the strangulation count. The affidavit states that it should be noted that Cindy advised she did not lose consciousness or the ability to breathe while Joshua had his hands around her neck. Your Honor, with that being said, we were just asked if you did not find probable cause for the strangulation count.
All right, the state, any argument?
He did have his hands around her neck. If the court doesn't.
Well, you have to impede the breathing or circulation for strangulation. It's a weird statute because the first part of the statute talks about felony battery, which is causing injury or great bodily harm, okay? And then the second part of the statute, which is the battery by strangulation, which is the officer doesn't specify which part of the statute he's charging under, but does say battery by strangulation. Technically, he could be found guilty with the injury on the victim for the first portion of the statute.
Yes.
So I don't know if the officer intended only for strangulation or if the officer intended for, and just put strangulation because that is the title of the statute. It's felony battery, semicolon, battery by strangulation. So I agree that there's no PC for the strangulation, but I believe that there would be PC for the first part of the statute.
The simple battery, well, domestic battery.
Well, no, I mean, the felony battery, because of her, she had scratches, which can cause disfigurement or, so, I mean, I'm just saying, that's,
Yes, Your Honor, I
generally
understand.
speaking, that would be, the reading of the statute. So, Ms. Fusco, I'm not gonna find it for strangulation, so.
I'm not sure that getting a supplemental police report would
I don't think so either.
add anything, Your Honor, so,
Well, it
if
looks
you're
like.
gonna give bond to the other account, can we just ROR on that account?
Well, I mean, I'm not finding PC, so I'm gonna have to ROR.
Right, on that one, but there will be on the second count.
Yeah, I mean, there's probable cause for battery, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
thanks.
So, I do find probable cause for count 2. I'll ROR on count 1 because of the no PC, and I don't believe, and neither does the state, that any additional information, and I don't think there's enough information that a scratch would be necessarily permanent disfigurement, but the state could charge that. And then we do have a witness here. Can you raise your right, do you need the interpreter, ma'am?
I do not.
Okay, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, can you tell me your name, please?
I'm Cindy Rodriguez.
Okay, spell your last name for me.
RODRIGUEZ.
Okay, and then how do you know Mr. Rodriguez?
We are in a relationship.
Okay. And when you say a relationship, are you boyfriend and girlfriend?
Boyfriend and girlfriend living together.
Okay. And then, are you afraid of Mr. Rodriguez?
I am.
Okay. And so my guess is you do not want to have contact.
I do not
with
want
him.
any contact.
Okay. So, has anything like this happened in the past?
He has dragged me, and punched me, and I didn't call the cops. I let it go, thinking that it wouldn't happen again. But he consumes, and he gets very aggressive. So at this point, I don't want anything to do with him. I'm very concerned because he said multiple times that day that he would kill me. He laughed and said, "I don't care if you call the cops. I'm gonna get bailed out and I'm gonna come back." So I'm very concerned for my family, for me, and I just want him to stay away.
Okay. Are there any firearms in the home?
No.
Okay. Do you think drugs or alcohol had any involvement
Oh,
in
yeah.
what happened?
Oh yeah.
Which
No
drugs
sleep.
and alcohol, or
Yeah, both.
both? Okay.
And no sleep. He's probably slept when he was in here, but he has not really slept. He was just drinking and consuming.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to tell me?
No, at this point, I just want him to stay away.
Okay. And Ms. Fusco, do you have any questions for Ms. Rodriguez?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you for coming and talking to me today, I appreciate it, and I know that usually the domestic cases are on that side, in another courtroom, so there is a Harbor House over there if you have any questions about any services, okay?
Yes, will he be allowed back into my house?
Well, what I'm gonna do is I can't kick people out of their homes, so I'm gonna order that you maintain separate residences, and I'll allow him to go back with law enforcement one time to get personal belongings if he needs to do so. But other than that, he'll have to live in another location, he'll have to maintain separate residences, okay?
Okay.
But he is entitled to a bond.
I
have to
understand.
Give him a bond, okay?
Mhm.
All right, so, Mr. Rodriguez, I am ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order form. Did you understand everything contained in that form, sir?
Yes.
All right, you're also to maintain a separate residence. If you need to go back to the residence and the victim is there, you'll need to go with law enforcement. You can go one time to get your personal belongings, okay? One time. Don't go without law enforcement or you're violating my order, okay? You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And you're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. Setting your bond at $2,500 on count 2 with random urinalysis through pretrial release. So if you test positive for any alcohol or any drugs, then you are subject to having your release revoked, okay? And 1 will be ROR because I do not find the probable cause for the strangulation count. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Please tell me your name.
Jose.
Jose Hernandez.
Jose Hernandez.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you're here in 2020 MM21AW. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause, and do you make $500 a week, sir? Is that your paycheck?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, do you have any children under the age of 18?
Perdón. Sí.
Yes.
How many children do you have?
En Puerto Rico tengo 6.
I have 6 in Puerto Rico.
Okay, do you pay child support, or do you claim them as dependents?
Sí, por acá. Yo le...
Yes.
Yes.
Take care of it over here.
Okay, so do you pay child support? Is that a yes to the child support?
No.
No.
No, yo le paso la pensión a los nenes. Son mis hijos, le pago la pensión.
No, I make payments to my children.
I don't understand. You make payments to your children?
Sí.
Yes.
How old are your children?
Tengo una nena de 18, una 19, una de 20 y los más pequeños que tienen 7 y 6.
I have one is 18, another one is 19, another one is 20, and the two little ones that are 6 years old and 7 years old.
Okay, so you have 2 children under the age of 18.
Dos niños pequeños, sí. Eso es correcto.
Two little children. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so you have 2 children under the age of 18 and you claim them as dependents. All right, you will qualify for the public defender. I'm going to appoint them to represent you, okay? And I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order form, please. Did you understand everything contained in that form, sir?
Yes.
You're to maintain a separate residence, and if you need to go back to the residence and the victim is present, you must go with law enforcement. Do not go to the residence by yourself. You must go with law enforcement. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Your bond is set at $1,000 plus random urinalysis through pretrial release. All right, thank you. And then I don't think that we have any more.
Thanks to you.
All right, that concludes our Spanish-speaking individuals. So thank you, Mr. Interpreter.
You're very welcome, Your Honor.
Right. All right, good afternoon. Can you tell me your name?
Jade Cook.
All right, Ms. Cook, you're here in 2017 CF 14372AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of probation. The judge did set your bond at none in the case. And did you plan on hiring your own attorney, or did you want me to appoint the public defender?
I do have my own attorney.
Okay, on the violation of probation?
I'm not sure if he knows I'm here yet.
Okay, who was the attorney?
Brian Fetter? Bryce Fetter, I'm
Bryce,
sorry, yeah.
All right, so Mr. Fetter has not filed a notice of appearance in your case for the violation of
I
probation.
was extradited from Texas.
Right,
so-
but, so he'll have to file a notice of appearance in order to represent you.
Okay.
Do you want me to see if the PD, or do you want me to appoint the PD and then you can always hire Mr. Fetter? You're gonna see Judge Whitehead in a couple days for your arraignment. But I don't know if Mr. Fetter will file a notice of appearance for you, and I don't know whether he'll attend that arraignment.
Because I have been in contact with them, and he did say,
Okay, well, I mean, you'll see Judge Whitehead in a couple days, so if you don't have an attorney at that time, you can address that with him, okay? But your bond will stay set at none at this time, and I would get in touch with him again and let him know that you'll see Judge Whitehead in a couple days. I don't know what day, okay?
okay.
Okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Andrea Latoya Jefferson.
Do we know what happened to Timothy Fitzpatrick? All right, we'll take no action. All right, Mr. Jefferson? Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You're here in 2020 CF 169AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trespass on property after warning. And I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender. You are not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you may not return back to the Econo Lodge at 8700 South Orange Blossom Trail, or have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses at that location. Your bond is set at $1,100 and $100, and you must abide by the trespass warning. right, good afternoon. Please tell me your name.
Devontae Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're here in 2020 CF 168AO. You're arrested for carjacking with a firearm, possession of a weapon in the commission of a felony, aggravated assault with a firearm while wearing a mask, and grand theft third degree with a mask. And I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. Ms. Fusco, does the state wish to be heard as to bond on count 1? It is a punishable by life felony.
Yes, Your Honor. The victim and his girlfriend were exiting their vehicle when two armed males with bandanas covering their faces approached them. One of the males pointed a gun at them, demanded their money and their keys. He repeated the demand multiple times. The victim stated he had no money but gave them his keys because both the men had firearms and he was in fear. There was a video surveillance camera directed toward the area of the crime. Two women in the same area stated that the same suspects confronted them with guns, demanded their keys, but when they said they didn't have keys, the suspects observed another vehicle come into the lot and then went over to that vehicle, and the two women observed the men confront the victims in this case and then drive off in their red car. The car was reported as carjacked vehicle, and there was law enforcement surveillance, and the vehicle was found in Seminole County while during surveillance, and the male defendant committed an armed robbery with a firearm with his face covered again. He fled the scene and discarded his clothing and other items in dumpsters, and there was a video by the Orange County Helicopter Service that recorded that episode. The defendant is a suspect in numerous armed robberies in both Orange and Seminole County. He was the sole occupant of the carjacking vehicle when it was found and used it to facilitate his crimes. His description matches the description of the suspect that the victims in this case had given, and he was wearing a similar clothing and disguise. There's also currently a warrant out for the crime being committed in Seminole. The state argues that there is proof evident or presumption great and asks that for the protection of the public that he be held without bond.
Ms. Haley?
Yeah, no, we defer to the court.
Okay. This is a tough one. I mean, really the only thing linking him to the carjacking is the vehicle. He's one saying when they arrested him, he committed an armed robbery with a firearm, were wearing a mask, which was a t-shirt. The victims at the scene of the carjacking at issue in this case say he was wearing a bandana on his face. Nobody's identified him after the fact. Nothing's linked him other than being in possession of the vehicle. However, the law is that if you are in possession of recently stolen property and it's 6 days, which I believe under this case law is usually less than 15 days, which is recently stolen property, that it gives rise to the presumption that you stole the property. So I am going to find proof evident presumption great based on that, and that he's in possession of the carjacked vehicle, and then, so I am going to hold him at no bond on count 1. The bonds that will follow are $5,000 on each count. No weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no contact with any listed victim, any witness, any co-defendant, no alcohol or illegal substances without a valid prescription, and no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. That's the Montmartre Drive. So you're not to return back there. And so the Public Defender's Office will be able to file a motion for you in the trial division, okay? And then I think you said Mr. Payne bonded. We'll take no action on Mr. Payne. All right, please tell me your name.
Michael Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith, you're here in 2020 CF 178AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do find probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You do qualify for pretrial release. You need to make sure that you follow all of their requirements, okay?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you show up to court, okay? I'm gonna put you in pretrial release.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Juan Fernando Yanguas.
All right, Mr. Yanguas, you're here in 2020 CF 176AO. You're arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. And I do find probable cause for that offense. I don't have a form for the public defender. Were you going to hire your own
I
attorney?
have my own lawyer.
Okay, have you spoken with him or her today?
Yes, I call him. Well, I call my girlfriend. She
Is it
call-
Mr. Traybold?
Yes.
Okay, because he represents you on the other case that you're out on, okay. All right, so, Mr. Yanguas, you cannot drive without a valid driver's license. And, so I am gonna stay the bond at the 2,500. You're out for driving while license suspended and other charges as well. And so I am gonna revoke your bond in 19 CF 13393AO. You'll have to get in touch with Mr. Traybold. He'll have to file a motion to set bond for you, okay? Please tell me your name.
Arusha Brown.
All right, Ms. Brown, you're here in 2020 CT 113A. Oh, you're arrested for driving while license suspended as a subsequent offender. And I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender. I don't know if the state will have an offer for you, but there is a minimum mandatory for the subsequent offender charge. I believe it's 10 days? Yeah. So, I would be required to sentence you if you pled today to at least 10 days in the Orange County Jail. So if you don't want to do that today, then
Yeah,
you don't have
Ms. Brown
to.
doesn't want to resolve her
Okay.
case today.
All right, you may not drive without a valid driver's license, Ms. Brown, and I'm staying your bond at $500, okay?
Your Honor, she doesn't qualify for pretrial. I just spoke with Ms. Brown. She has a 2-month-old baby at home, and she cannot afford bond because she's unemployed. And I just wanted to know if you would consider releasing her on her own recognizances.
All right, Ms. Brown, I'm gonna do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Do not miss your court date, okay? Because you know what's gonna happen. You'll end up with a warrant, and you'll be in jail, and then you won't be able to get to your kid, okay? Okay? I just want to make sure you understand, if you don't show up to court, that's what happens, okay? So do not drive without a valid driver's license, and make sure that the PD's office can get in touch with you, and that you show up to your court date, okay?
I don't got no cell phone, but thank you.
Okay, well, they'll be able to get notice to you. I think they'll give you a court date when you get out.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you know that court date and you do not miss it, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. Can you tell me your name?
Valentin Sanchez.
All right. Mr. Sanchez, you're here in 2020 CT 114AO and 2020 CT 115AO. You're charged with no valid driver's license and no motor vehicle registration. And I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender. You're also here in 2020 MM 128AO. You're arrested for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams and possession of drug paraphernalia. And I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender in that case for you. So I'm gonna stay your bonds on the no valid and the no motor vehicle at 500 on each count. For the cannabis, I'll ROR on count 1, and count 2, I'll set at 100. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You know, you're out on bond for no motor vehicle registration, operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, and attaching a tag not assigned. And I'm looking at the facts of this case, and I'm gonna revoke your release. In those cases, there's 3 cases, 19 CT 8484, 19 CT 8483, and 19 CT 8482 AO. And doesn't appear as though you have representation in those cases, correct? Okay, so I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in those cases, and they'll be able to set, file motions for you to get, possibly get a bond in those cases. All right? Okay, thank you. I'll take no action on him. Can you tell me your name?
Joseph Morris White.
All right, Mr. White, you're here in 2020 MM 131AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning. And I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. I think they represent you in some other cases, okay? So I'm gonna appoint them to represent you in your case. You can't go back to the Circle K at 6250 West Colonial Drive. You've been trespassed, okay? If you go back there, you're just gonna get arrested, okay?
Thank you,
Don't go
ma'am.
back there, okay? So abide by the trespass warning, no contact with anyone at that location. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on release case, and I'm gonna ROR you, okay? I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. You're gonna get a court date. Do not miss that court date,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
So I'm leaving today?
Yeah.
I get set for today?
You're not resolving your case, but you're gonna have to show up to court. They're gonna give you a court date when you get out.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't go back to that Circle
You
K.
mean I leave here today?
Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name.
Marquis Ellis.
All right, Mr. Ellis, you're here in 2 cases. Looks like they're both out of Leon County, and they're out of county warrants. And in one case, both cases, the bond are set at $250. So you have a $500 bond, okay? If you can bond out, you can bond out. I think that's the only thing holding him, right? Yeah. So if you can bond out, you can bond out. If not, Leon County will have 72 hours to come and pick you up pursuant to our administrative order, not including weekends or holidays. And so if they don't do that in that time frame and you haven't bonded out, you'll come back before a judge, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Charles Kirkland.
All right, Mr. Kirkland, you're here on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. The judge in that case did give you a $5,000 bond, so if you're able to bond out, you can bond out. If not, Seminole County will have 24 hours pursuant to our administrative order to come and pick you up. If they don't do that within the time frame, you'll come back before me, okay?
Oh, okay.
But if you can bond out, you can bond out,
I plan
okay?
on getting bond out, so.
Okay, well, then.
Once I get bond out, you'll give me some paperwork to come
So
back
they'll-
here?
I won't give you anything, but you'll have to go to Seminole,
Oh,
okay?
going on.
It'll probably have your, a future court date or something. You got a court going on over there, okay?
Okay, okay.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Robert Edward Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2020 MO 32AO. You're arrested for camping in a prohibited place, and I do find probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Do you want to try and resolve your case? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I want to
Okay, is there an
resolve.
offer?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, 2 days with credit time served, court costs.
All right, so it's a credit for time served offer, Mr. Johnson. You want to do that? You'll get out today.
What you mean, what you said now?
So you'd enter a plea, and the case would be resolved today. I'd adjudicate you guilty. I'd sentence you the 2 days that you've been in the Orange County Jail with court costs. I'd give you a year to pay those off, but you're going home. Getting out, okay?
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
I want to plead guilty.
Okay, well, that's fine. You can plead guilty if you want.
Yeah, and may I have just a moment just to
Sure.
go over it with you?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. All right, Mr. Johnson, I need you to sign the plea. Oh, you signed it? Did you sign that form, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you understand everything that was contained in the form?
Yeah, she told me.
Okay, Ms. Haling explained to you?
Yeah.
Okay, and you clear on all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah.
Okay, are you on probation anywhere?
Yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right. And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? So if you're not a U.S. citizen, I have to ask you these questions, okay? I'm required to by law. So do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Okay. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I have to impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay those off. They'll be due by January 6, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
All right.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. All right, we're in recess until tomorrow.